guys, welcome back to Sam's Garden Project. We are going to just do a quick little end of summer garden tour, show you some of the changes that have happened. We are in middle of February and it's a rainy Sunday afternoon, so we'll just have to take a look around and I'll show you what's happening in the garden. Alright, so most of the strawberries in my strawberry tower have died. I've got one that's doing well and sitting out some runners, and I'm going to plant some seeds and fill out the rest of that. All this stuff's doing well. Puppies are being annoying. That's enough, Diesel. The avocado tree is really liking the rain. We've had a lot of rain, a little bit recently, so it's putting on some nice lush growth. Let's head over here. We've got some corn that came out of the compost, which is doing well. We've put our compost, topped up this bed with compost, so the boysenberry and the corn's doing well. Also planted a sweet potato, but I don't expect anything to happen from that. So I came out this morning and there was some rainbow lorikeets in the garden, in the almond tree and the pear tree, and they're starting to eat the pears, so we'll get to that. So the raspberry plant here has had a bit of a tough start to summer. It's only just starting to put on a little bit of fruit now, but it struggled a lot with the heat and not getting any rain for pretty much December and January, but it's starting to look healthy again now, which is good. In this bed is our celery, which I bought from Bunnings as seedlings. It's growing slowly, and the dahlias. So these have all been cut back, and hopefully there's another flush of flowers ready to go. Carrots are doing well. I need to start harvesting some of these. They're starting to get a good size. Let's pull one just to see. So it's kind of like a little one, but there's been some good ones. Some good ones growing in here too, which has been nice. It is starting to rain, so I'll just keep going. Finally starting to see some fruit ripening on the jalapenos. Yeah, basil, kale. I'm getting butterfly, cabbage moth butterflies starting to lay their eggs on my little kales that I have scattered around. So I'm just checking them periodically, checking for any eggs. So spring onion's doing well. This bed's looking really healthy actually. On the other end of the dahlias we have the zucchini plant. This is literally like the only zucchini plant that has put on some fruit. All this fruit is like rotting, whether it was pollinated properly or not, but most of the fruit I've gotten has only been off this plant. There's a whole bunch of ants in there. That's a female flower, but there's no male flowers. This is the other bed of zucchini, and I'm going to rip these out because they have not done anything at all. Zucchinis have really struggled this year. And we've got some beetroot, so I could harvest that shortly as well. Moving on to this bed, we have our pumpkins. These struggling a little bit, but I came out the other day and I saw something exciting. I normally look at this bed from this angle, and at the moment there's like no fruit on these two plants closest to this side. But the other day I walked around over here and look what I found. Nice big pumpkin, and there is one more here. So I've got two decent sized pumpkins that are still growing, but these are Queensland blue, so hopefully they keep growing. They get a chance to ripen. We are late summer, we're at the middle-ish of February, so they've still got plenty of time to keep growing, but I didn't think I was going to get any pumpkin this year because the weather has been a bit funny. So moving on from the pumpkins, we come to our pear tree, and this is where a couple of days ago everything was fine, but now there is birds getting into all my pears. So I'm going to come out once I finish filming this quick little video. I'm gonna come out and harvest everything because this is really annoying. They're looking so healthy, so lush. It's got a little bit of a blemish, but it was a really good pear year and now the birds are getting to it. So I probably should have come out every day to check on them, but it is what it is. Another exciting thing is my pomegranates. I put bags on these to prevent, again, birds kind of destroying them. But I'm excited to get some pomegranates. So it's got quite a few fruit on it. 1, 2, little one there, growing along nicely. There's another one there. And the apples are done. I need to give it some prune, but I didn't really get any apples off it. The birds just got them and they kind of had codling moth, so I need to fix the apple tree for next year. I have some pruned the peaches and nectarines, so they're putting on some fresh growth this summer. You guys have seen what the trees looked like in my last garden tour video, but they're putting on some healthy new growth, which will then encourage the fruit buds for next season. This is my little orange tree, which is starting to come back to life a little bit. I planted it in here in like spring and it had started to get flowers. I need to harvest some little tomatoes too. Over here, another pear tree, lots of fruit, but then again, possums and birds are starting to eat them, so time to come out and harvest everything, let it ripen on the bench. Asparagus fronds aren't dying back yet, they're still nice and green and lush. A little bit of colour there, but I'll cut them back when they die completely, so I'll let them sit. This bed has got a mix of things, spring onions looking healthy, this flower's starting to die back a little bit, and tomatoes were doing okay, but I think their time is coming to an end. I need to come and harvest some of the little ripe ones. I only grow the little tomatoes because I can't be bothered with the big ones. This is a volunteer, either pumpkin or melon of some sort. Hasn't got any fruit on it or any female flowers, so I'm not sure what it is, but I'm letting it go, see what happens with it. Again, some more tomatoes in here. I will harvest these once I finish the video. Let's keep moving along. Basil's looking really healthy in here, which is nice. Next bed, we have my holy basil. It's looking lush. Everything was struggling a little bit with the summer heat and with the fact that we didn't have any rain. I have a irrigation set up on there. It runs every 2 days, but nothing beats rain from the sky. So everything's had a little bit of rain recently in the last few weeks and it's starting to look lush again, which is nice. We're meant to get about 10 to 20 mil of rain today, so we'll see if that actually eventuates. But if we do, that'd be awesome as well, and the garden will love it. Alright, let's keep going. So in this garden bed we have some random things. We have some tomato plants, some chilies, some spring onions, and some capsicums and peppers. Peppers have done really well this year, so there's some out here that I need to harvest. We've got some yellow like peppers too, that looks like it's a little bit damaged. But again, some more tomatoes. Tomatoes are starting to die back. I guess it's just that time. Little peppers were transplanted late, but the big capsicums are doing really well. I just placed our pear just there, I'll come back to it. In this bed we've got thyme, which is starting to flower, some little radishes there, beans, which are struggling a bit, and I had some cucumbers, which there looks like there might be a cucumber here, which we can harvest. I'll put that with the pear. These were doing okay, but again, the lack of rain kind of made them struggle a little bit. And you can see the leaves, they're not healthy leaves. It's just going to attract bugs and disease, and I don't expect them to last too much longer. These zinnias are self-seeded from last summer and I love them. They look so healthy and they're starting to put out some flowers and fresh growth. I'm just going to leave them in the garden bed so they can be pollinated by the pollinators. We've got our 2 blueberries. The blueberries are all done. I'm just keeping them watered and they're starting to put on some fresh growth for next season. And again, you can see some of the sun damage on those hot days. At the back we have passion fruit. Not a lot of fruit this year, but there is some that's slowly starting to ripen, which is nice. I love passion fruit. The figs, there's some figs I need to harvest, but at the top again being eaten by possums and rats, and we don't go back there. I don't show you what's behind there. It has been cleaned up though, so it is nice and tidy, but these figs are looking good. Really good year for certain things. Let's take that one inside. You can tell a fig is right whether it's like red and juicy, and let's just take that inside. It's also got a little bit of like a sap when you harvest it, which can irritate your skin, so don't try and get that on your skin if you're harvesting figs. Let's put this with our little harvest there. So as I said, it's been a really good year for the pears and a really good year for the figs. Not so good of a year for the peaches and the berries, like the raspberries and stuff, and zucchinis. Tomatoes were a bit late, but they're all coming through now. Yeah, and zucchini is really weird. Like, zucchini is one of those things that you can't kill and they just grow, but this year they just have really struggled. So it's interesting seeing what things grow really well and what things don't grow so well year after year. See how the weather changes the season for the plants. So the only thing I have growing in this little pot is spearmint, which seems to be doing okay. I'll probably do some fertilizer. I can see some damage on the leaves starting to occur, but that's doing okay. Chickens are doing okay. We mucked out their coop. I think it was last weekend, but I need to come and collect the eggs and fill up their waters. But they're doing well. Again, my kale has been eaten by the cabbage moth butterflies. So I don't think there's any on there currently because I just feed the caterpillars to the chickens. Let me know if you see any. I think we're good. But yes, the chickens have been getting them every couple of days when I check the kale. More tomatoes. These ones are a bit bigger than the other varieties. Again, this is self-seeded tomatoes that I just let happen. They're not causing any issues growing there. Back to the capsicums. We've got some good fruit. Let's have a look over here. Nice green one. A little bit of sun damage, but I can come out and do a big harvest. Let's look over here. So again, there's that growth on the peach trees. Quinces. I've put a net over most of the fruit, but it's nearly ready to harvest. I want to have a go at making quince paste this year. See how that goes. We moved the compost bin, so we put it where the tree had died, so we've cut that down to the soil and put the compost bin here. Everything that we mucked out from the chicken coop has just gone in the compost bin. Alrighty, let's keep going. Here's the other end of the tomatoes. Alright, so that's about it for the late summer garden tour. You can have a look at the last video, which was like about midsummer. It was probably about a month ago, to see how things have changed. Things are ready to harvest, things are starting to die back. I'll show you my, I guess, my kitchen bench. Thanks, Crow. I'll show you my kitchen bench to kind of show what what I've been harvesting over the last couple of weeks. I've been preserving a bunch of herbs, and then zucchinis and carrots and capsicums and stuff are just sitting on the bench. But yeah, hopefully we get a bit of rain today and the garden can look lush for a little while. Alright, so this is my little preserving / harvest station in my kitchen. I have a basket from the other day where we harvest some of the calamodins, I think, or kumquats, calamodins. There's some carrots, there's some passion fruit that were ready. Again, some apples that are damaged. Rose hips, they're starting to shrivel though, so I need to work out what to do with the rose hips. A few almonds, zucchini. We've got the eggs, which I need to go and harvest the eggs and fill that up. I was dehydrated some chives, some lemon verbena, some mint. I think that is also mint of some sort. Rosemary, and we had parsley there, cherry tomatoes, some spring onion, which we've just been slowly using. Capsicum is starting to kind of wither a little bit. Some more apples, zucchinis, and this is what I've just bought inside. So I'm going to go harvest the rest of the pears, and then I need to figure out some dinners to be able to use up all this produce. For anyone interested in like the rain that we've had, so I'm in Melbourne. In January we had 1 mil of rain on the 21st. So the total month of Jan we've had 1 mil of rain, and then in February we've had about 21 mil already, with another big downfall expected today. So let's have a look at last year's rainfall chart, which I have just here in my little, I guess, pantry door. January last year, 30 mil, and then another 30 in February. So 60 mil of rain in January and February last year, compared to, I guess, 22 mil so far. So thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye.